The history of civilization is marked by advancements in science, philosophy, the quality of life, and from the beginning of recorded history, there have been wars fought over the power to control other people. This weekend, we celebrate the 4th of July in 1776, when 13 colonies in America declared independence from England and officially began a war. Why would we be celebrating declaring war? Consider Europe in the Middle Ages. Just about every inch of land is owned by a king, a queen, or some wealthy landowner. For many generations, your family has lived and worked under the protection of the local landowner. If your family did not own property, there's very little chance that you ever would. There's very little chance of moving up in the social order. Religion was controlled by who's ever in power. And then in the early 1600s, after countless generations of economic and religious repression, you have an option. You can get on a tiny boat that might hold 100 passengers and 30 crew and sail across the ocean for 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the weather and how good a navigator your captain is. You're literally going to start from scratch. You get to the New World and you need to hunt to eat, chop trees to build shelter, learn to live with the local native population, and you have the freedom to choose whatever religion you'd like to practice. In Jamestown, the first English settlement, approximately 1,700 settlers arrived in the 10 years between 1607 and 1617. By 1617, only 351, 20% of these people were still surviving. In Massachusetts, of the original 132 passengers and crew on the Mayflower, only half lived through the first winter. It was tough. Before the American Revolution in 1776, Britain sent an estimated 50,000 to 120,000 convicts to America as punishment. About 50% of the people who voluntarily came to America earned their passage by agreeing to be indentured servants and work for free for a number of years. And against all these odds and all these hardships, generations of people continually crossed that ocean for the opportunity they had here. In the late 1700s, the English king began taxing and putting restrictions on the colonies, mainly to help pay for the recently fought French and Indian Wars. The colonists, descendants of people who risked their lives to build a future here, revolted. And on July 4, 1776, the colonies declared their independence from the most powerful empire in the world. The Revolutionary War was fought so that people could govern themselves as a sovereign, free nation. Our form of democracy was and continues to be a social experiment of people governing themselves. Our past is not perfect. The present is not perfect. This weekend, we celebrate the founding of our country and all those generations who have sacrificed to leave in our own hands the opportunities we have today. We stand on the shoulders of previous generations, and it's up to us to continue the work of creating a government for and by the people. We will do a short meditation followed by music. If you would get comfortable, set down your bulletins, your hymnals. You gently close your eyes. Take a comfortable breath in and exhale slowly. Take another comfortable breath in and exhale slowly. Be aware of your legs and your back resting on the pew. Be aware of your feet on the ground. Breathe into your whole body and feel every muscle relax as you exhale. Taking a nice breath in, and as you exhale, you feel your head relaxing, your arms, your torso, your legs. Imagine You're on a small sailing ship. You're getting your last glimpse of England as the shoreline fades into the horizon. You are leaving everything you know behind and going to the new world. You'll be on this ship for 6 to 12 weeks. There are blistering hot days. And there are days with violent storms, huge waves. It's very hard sleeping on this cramped boat. Early one morning, you hear the lookout yell that land has been spotted. Everyone crowds the deck to see with their own eyes. You're looking. There's no buildings. There's no roads. There's no ships. There's just trees and beaches. Your new life is about to begin. What are your emotions as you realize what's in front of you? What is the life that you plan on building? Think about your emotions as you hear this played by Adrian. With your eyes remaining closed, just consider what the last 250 years have built in this country. Generation after generation of people. And with your eyes remaining closed, gently take a few normal breaths, releasing this meditation. And just take a few normal breaths. And if you'd come back into the chapel, and back again in our bulletin where we had read before, at the top of the second page, where it says together. Yes. And we'll just read those together. It is the main motivation of mankind to be free, to express our true selves and pursue our dreams without restriction, to experience what may be called personal freedom. I know but one freedom, and that is the freedom of the mind. We might as well require a man to wear still the coat which fitted him when a boy, as civilized society to remain ever under the regimen of their barbarous ancestors. Laws have to change. We know over time laws continue to change. 250 years ago, it took 5 weeks for the King of England to learn that he was at war with the colonies. Today, if a bear walks into a Walmart in Missoula, Montana, or we have a meteor in Siberia, it's on the internet immediately. A lot has changed in the last 250 years. Practically everything known to man is on the internet. With artificial intelligence, you don't even have to do your own research. You just ask Siri a question and it just pops up. 60 years ago, there were 3 national television stations in the United States. The programming and the news presentation on all 3 was very similar. Today, there are hundreds of stations, an unlimited number of podcasts, YouTubes, TikToks, and individual social media sites. There's cutthroat competition to get your attention and to keep it coming back. There's profit in keeping your attention. It's a paradox. Although we have everything known to man on the internet and at our fingertips, we are prone to view only a few sources. This can skew our opinions by presenting only one side of an issue. We find society, even within our own circle of family and friends, divided by media broadcasts, specifically programmed to capture and keep our attention. The human's strongest instinct is survival. Our survival instinct, our fight or flight instinct, can be triggered easily. This is part of the reason we hold on tightly and pay attention to bad news and the doomsayers. We naturally want to be prepared for what the future may bring. Past experiences teach us and subconsciously program us to remember and prepare for situations that create hurt, regret, or fear, and to avoid those at almost all cost. Our lives are busy. We are practically always running from one responsibility or task to the next. Our smartphones add a whole new layer of information and distractions to our lives. Friends, work, and the 24/7 news cycle are at our fingertips. We are rarely able to see and observe situations and ideas from a new perspective, especially when we are constantly overloaded with new information. When there is news breaking every day, we lose our ability to prioritize what is important. Many people attempt to go on sabbaticals from TV and daily news just to get a mental break. Who here has tried to do that? Anyone here tried to turn off the TV, turn off your phone for a while? You have to, it's just too much. We can easily be overwhelmed with all the information we are processing. And of course, the news outlets want to make it dramatic and want to show you the worst thing there is because that's going to get your attention. Last week, Reverend Lisa Tolbert presented the homily here. Part of her message was that if we focus on solving problems, we don't find ourselves sitting continuously in the energy of worry or fear. The good thing is we can learn to slow down, observe our thoughts, and choose where to direct our attention. A meditation practice allows us to experience our minds and emotions in a quiet and relaxed state. With consistent practice, our ability to slow down and recognize non-productive thoughts can become our natural state of mind. And we can choose to focus on solutions instead of problems. And when you think about it, you're going to meditate for 30 minutes. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to turn off the TV. You're going to turn off your phone. You're going to get someplace where it's quiet. And so you're actually going to take some time experiencing a silence with intent. And the more you practice this, the more you become your natural state, that you want some of that quiet. It's estimated that 95% of our thoughts are the same day to day. We're just repeating the same thing all the time. Drives us crazy. Dr. Jim Green, a hypnotherapist and meditation teacher, developed an exercise to assist in controlling these constant habitual flow of thoughts. When you realize that your attention is not in a conversation, like you're not listening to me, or you're focused on something that's not the task you're doing, you mentally just say now, and you choose to do what you want to do. I choose to put my attention here this morning. And you smile. You literally smile because you noticed what you were doing, you took control, and you made a decision. And smiling releases those endorphins or whatever it is. It reinforces that you have a choice. You can always stop your train of thoughts and choose. You can put your full attention on what you choose to do. With a little practice, you can do this in one breath. You realize you're supposed to be talking to a friend and you're thinking about what you're going to do tonight, and you can just take a breath and go, I choose to listen to my friend, and smile and look at them. You can get to where you can just do it in one breath. But the meditation helps you to realize when those thoughts are just running. When you practice meditation, you begin to realize when your mind is not in the present. In seminary, I had these baseball pitch counters, and I was practicing this. And literally, anything that wasn't on target, I would click my little pitch counter. And it only went up to 199. And it would max out more than once every hour. So it's like every 20 seconds, something was taking my attention. It was like bump, bump. So I thought, man, I got to do better than this. So I started using the now exercise. And I really tried. For 3 or 4 months, I really worked it hard. And I got it down to like 50 to 60 an hour. I was getting down to almost less than 1 a minute where I was being distracted. Now, it was a lot of work, and I know I'm not like that now, but I proved to myself this can work. You can work on it and get yourself to where you're more focused. And really, when you're doing that, you start noticing which thoughts are important and which aren't. If it's just my normal, what am I going to have for lunch today? It's not important. Just let it go and return your attention. If it's something really important, if every day you're thinking, man, I really need to get my car fixed. Well, stop and write it on your calendar. Because if you just keep worrying every day, 400 times a day, I got to get my car fixed, it's taking all your attention. If you need to do something like that, you write it on your calendar. But it all starts with being able to observe your thoughts and prioritize them. Choose what you're going to do. The Declaration of Independence stated as one of our rights, life, liberty, and then the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness. And on this 250th anniversary of our country, we can celebrate by continuing the work of our predecessors by pursuing our own individual happiness. With clear minds, we can approach the issues in our country, the big issues, with optimism, with resolve. If we're just overwhelmed with all the things that are happening, we never can focus our attention. And that's the part about being able to slow down and prioritize. Decide what you can do. This individual happiness and attention to what needs to get done is the ultimate test of our democratic experiment. Learning to live at peace, together in harmony, with every member of our society having an equal chance at economic and social advancement. Our democracy affords each of us the opportunity to follow our own path and use the freedoms in our country to pursue happiness and to continue this remarkable experiment, the democratic experiment in the United States. But it all begins with the individual. It begins with you being able to control your thoughts in your life and finding happiness, because then that will spread to people around you. But each of us must do our own work. And it can begin with a little prayer and meditation every morning, and using some exercise to redirect your attention. Blessings. We're going to do another little meditation. You're off the ship now. Now, if you would just close your eyes and relax. In this meditation, if your mind starts wandering, and it will, just gently use that now exercise. When you see your mind wandering, just think to yourself now, and just direct your attention back to the meditation. This is just practice in learning to observe your thoughts and redirect what you choose to do. So we've set aside our bulletins and hymnals. We feel relaxed. Take a nice long breath in and gently exhale. Take another nice breath in. Concentrate on breathing into your head. Assume all the oxygen is going into your head. When you exhale, feel your forehead relax, your face, your jaw. Again, breathe into your head. And feel all the muscles in your scalp, your face relax. Now breathe into your arms and your hands. When you exhale, feel those muscles relaxing. And again, your arms and your hands. And feel those muscles relaxing. And then your torso, all the oxygen goes into your torso. And as you slowly exhale, you feel your chest relaxing, your abdomen, your back. Again, breathing into your torso and relaxing. And then your legs and feet, breathing into your legs and feet and relaxing. And with the next breath, visualize oxygen going to every cell in your body. Oxygen going to every cell in your body. And as you exhale, you gently feel your body relaxing into the pew. Now if you visualize, it's a beautiful summer day, and you're at a mountain lake. It's a beautiful, clear mountain lake with a sandy shore. And there's evergreens all around the lake. You can feel the sun on your face. You can feel the breeze. You can smell the evergreens. You're barefoot in a swimsuit and you're standing on the sand and you can feel the sand on the bottom of your feet. It's warm and you walk into the water. And the water's the perfect temperature and it's a sandy bottom. You walk in slowly and you walk until it's about waist deep and you sit down on the bottom. You sit down on the sand. And your head's just above the water. And you can feel your body gently moving, half floating as the water moves. You can feel the kind of the weightlessness in your arms and your legs. You're very comfortable. It's almost like there's no gravity. You can smell the trees, you can hear the birds. You just take a nice breath in. And your face is getting a little warm from the sun. It feels good, but it's getting a little warm. So you decide just to swim a little bit. So you roll over and go under the water, and it feels beautiful. And you're swimming underwater. It's nice and clear, you can see. And you surface and you just swim for a while. It's very comfortable. You can feel your arms and your legs getting a nice workout. And you stop after a while, and you can stand on the bottom, and your head's just above the water, and again you just sit here and you can feel the weightlessness in your body. You look at the trees, all the different colors of green, the beautiful blue sky, the clouds, and you're content. You're content and at ease. All your attention is on your breath, the breeze, and the beautiful greens and blues. And as you sit here, you think of there's lakes like this on every continent. There's lakes like this in every country. And there's people just like you that are enjoying the water. And you feel it's about time to start heading home. So you take one more look around and you walk towards the shore. Get up on the shore and you can feel the sun. If you gently release this meditation and just take a few normal breaths with no cares or concerns.